Greetings and welcome to the Author Spotlight for the Eastern Region's Delta Authors on Tour, a signature event developed by the National Arts and Letters Commission of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority, Incorporated. The Pittsburgh Alumnae Chapter is proud to serve as the host chapter for the Eastern Region. The purpose of the Delta Authors on Tour is to promote literacy and the talents of over 340 Delta authors within our sisterhood. This literary extravaganza will be held Saturday, May the 6th, 2023 at the University of Pittsburgh. The theme, Bridges to Literary Excellence, will feature 8 phenomenal authors whose works are comprised of fiction, nonfiction, and a myriad of genres and topics that will appeal to all interests. We are proud to have the opportunity to spotlight our own gifted writers and assist them in selling their books. This event will support Black women entrepreneurs, celebrate the joy of reading, inspire our creativity, and instill a sense of pride. I am your host, Dr. Tysana Jones from the Pittsburgh Alumnae Chapter. Today, we are joined by Phyllis Dixon, author of Down Home Blues. Miss Dixon is a graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, currently residing in Memphis, Tennessee, and active with the Memphis Alumnae. She spent over 30 years with the U.S. Treasury Department as a national bank examiner. During this time, she owned a bookstore. Surrounded by books and stories of others, she was inspired to follow her original dream and become a writer. She is the author of the novels 40 Acres, Down Home Blues, and forthcoming Intermission. Miss Dixon, thank you for joining us. Let's start with the basic. What inspired you to write?
Well, I would say I've taken a circuitous route to being a writer, almost like when you hear preachers say they ran from their calling. Actually, my major is in business, so it's probably as far away from creative arts as possible. But I did always like stories. I always like to read. So I was surrounded by books. And so when I lived in Houston, in order to marry my love of reading, it was hard to find Black books, and my business background, I opened a bookstore. And while I had that bookstore, I got to meet a lot of authors. And one of the things that I learned was that they're just regular people. A lot of them were self-published. A lot of them were selling books out of their trunk. And so that was what kind of inspired me when I would talk to them about what I wanted to do. They were very encouraging. So that just kind of made me think, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. So I just decided to put pen to some of the ideas that were spinning around in my head.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And you start talking about the idea of, they can do it too. So talk to me some about your writing process.
Well, I guess I know some people say they get up at 4 o'clock every morning and they write every day, or some people say they write between 12 and 3 or whatever. I'm not that disciplined. So it kind of depends on what's going on in my life, what kind of deadlines I have. But the main thing is just to get it all down. And then once you get it all written, then you can go back and pretty it up and revise and edit and all of that. But I will also say one thing, and that's something that I've learned late, is that writing, you would think, you go in and you write and it's something that you do by yourself. But publishing a book is actually not a solitary endeavor. You do need a team. And so that's something that I've kind of come to realize later. So I would say, nobody can do it for you. You got to put the pen to paper, or I guess now keep fingers to keys and get the ideas out. But once you do that, it is helpful to have people that will work with you to help you edit, to help you bounce ideas off, maybe a writing group, something like that.
Awesome. Thank you. So who are your books for? When you're writing, who do you imagine is going to pick your book up and fall in love?
Well, I would say anyone that enjoys Terry McMillan, Rashonda Tate Billingsley, Mary Monroe. It's my characters are African American, but of course the themes are universal. So anybody could read it, and it's just entertaining family drama.
Family drama. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's PG.
PG. Okay. Awesome. And what do you want your readers to take away from your writing?
I would just hope that they would feel that it's time well spent. Nothing is more depressing or demoralizing is to spend hours reading a book and you keep thinking it's going to get better. It's like, is that all? Is this it? Is this what everybody's so hyped up about? And so I would just hope that once people, take time out of their life to read what I've written, that they enjoy it, that they connect with the characters. I mean, I could say that there's, these deep themes about love and family and all that, but it's really not that deep. It's just, I just want you to be entertained.
Entertainment is good. Absolutely. Thank you. And what advice do you give inspiring writers who are trying to find their voice and get published?
I would say read a lot, and read across all genres. You can't just read what you like to read. So read a lot, and then you have to learn the craft. In my day job, my government job, I worked for the federal government, and I wrote and edited reports. And I was, good at it. Other people who were actually my superiors would bring me their things to edit and read and go over whatever. So when I started to do my own writing for fiction, I figured it would be a cakewalk. And one of the things I quickly learned was that it is very different. The expectations is different. The rules are different. So you really need to learn the craft. And for some people, that's taking a class. But for some people, my main go-to source, what I always tell people, is Writer's Digest, which is you can get it online and also subscribe to the hard magazine. That to me is the best source. So they have articles that you can look up on anything from how to name your characters, to finding time to write, to copyright. So I would say Writer's Digest, I think it's a very good source to kind of help you learn the craft.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So is there anything else that you want to convey to our viewers?
Well, I think, I would like to thank the sorority for all your support. I don't take it for granted. And Delta's, you all have been awesome throughout my writing journey. And also, I am looking forward to coming to Pittsburgh. I traveled a lot for my job, but Pittsburgh is one place I have not been. And I do know that you all have a rich African-American history, particularly in music. And something else that I'm working on is related to music. So I am looking forward to coming to Pittsburgh.
Oh, we are so excited to have you. And I'm just moving back home. So I'm excited that I would know the history. And I'm like, oh, I could take you here. We could do this. So looking forward. Absolutely. So lastly, what is next on the horizon? Anything new?
Well, since you asked, I do have a book coming out in July, Intermission. And this is the cover. And it come out in July. It's on pre-order now. And it's about a biracial singing group. And it's a fun read. And I think the best way to describe it would be Dream Girls meets Waiting to Exhale with a 90s twist. So again, with all the murder and mayhem and global warming and all this other stuff that's going on in the world, we need a break. So if you want to have a good time, just something fun to read, Intermission, you'll enjoy it. It's available on pre-order now, and it'll be shipped July 25th.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So I definitely look forward to seeing you on the 5th with our event, the 6th. And we look forward to having you in Pittsburgh and getting to know you and getting your books out there with us. And thank you again for coming to sit down with us today. And we will see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.